Today's episode is going to go deep, and I really hope it resonates with you. If you've been on my mindset calls or if you've studied the mindset section of the UIG, we've got David Hawkins' work in there on the map and scale of consciousness. We talk a lot about, again, David Hawkins' work, but there's also an author and kind of a teacher. His name is Neville Goddard. Don't know if you know who that is, but I highly recommend you Google. A lot of his work is free online. And I loved how he really writes about consciousness and manifestation and creation and getting results in the world. And he talks a lot about the womb of creation being the subconscious and the external being the conscious. And, in his books, and if you've joined me on Mondays, you've probably heard me read Feeling is the Secret or study Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. Highly recommend you grab that book. But it just talks about impregnating the subconscious, the womb of creation, and manifesting, creating, bringing into the world the conscious. And he breaks down a lot of kind of biblical teachings as well into, in my mind, very tangible, actionable teachings. Was studying more of his work this morning, and he's got this one chapter in here, and I loved it, or this one paragraph. It goes, "The truth is common to all men, but the consciousness of it, and much more the self-consciousness of it, is another matter. The day I realized this great truth, that everything in my world is a manifestation of the mental activity which goes on within me, and that the conditions and circumstances of my life only reflect the state of consciousness with which I am fused, is the most momentous in my life." Every page, every book, every word, everything he's written really revolves around that. Is you want to change your life, you change the inside. As within, so without. It's been taught by every mystic, every teacher, every religion, every spiritual text, as far back as you can go. Anyone who knew, anyone who tapped into this would tell you. It's an inside-out game. And I think intellectually we may understand that. It's like, oh, okay. And then life happens, reality slaps us across the face, and we start focusing on the external again. Our problems, the conditions of our life, the lack of money in the bank account, etc., etc. And we can argue what comes first. Is it the feeling that comes first? Is it the idea and the thoughts of having an abundant bank account, or is it the bank account? And when we think about it, we're like, well, of course, it would be our thoughts or feelings that would motivate us and inspire us, I should say, to take action. And by doing the right things in the right order, our bank account will be full. How insane is it? Like, think about this from a weight loss perspective. Because again, we get all messed up when it comes to money and business or investing or life in general sometimes. But when you think weight loss, if you just focused on the scale all day long, you hopped on it every hour, and you were bummed out and you were complaining to everyone that you're not losing weight, but you keep looking at the scale, but nothing's changing. That would be kind of insane. And to also fight against your hatred for some exercise or some workout, you just hate it, and you hate eating clean, and you hate it, and you're constantly complaining, then you'll probably try eating clean or working out for a few days, and eventually you're going to fall off the wagon, you're going to focus back on the scale, and you're going to wonder why you don't have results, and you're eating Cheetos again. That's how most people approach most things in life. Some say, let me take the easy path, let me change who I am. Let me become fit and healthy in mind first. Let me assume the identity of an athlete. And once assumed, you could say that, well, working out and eating becomes a lot easier. And it becomes a habit very quickly. And next thing you know, you look at the scale 3 months later and you're way down in weight. The same is true for investing. The same is true for business. The same is true for finance. You become it. It's be, do, have, not have, do, be. Join our Monday calls. This is the stuff we talk about, and the reception or the reaction, or I guess the feedback I get after each Monday call is like, I needed this. Being in that community and being exposed to this on a constant weekly basis, I promise you, will change your life in more ways than just becoming a DeFi investor. Tuning into the podcast, of course, will. Like and subscribe to this podcast. Leave a review if you haven't yet. It helps us out a ton. But end of the day, just hop into the community and be a part of these conversations. Jump into the mindset group and leave something. Hop into the conversation, and we'll have more of these on the audio experience. Be, do, have, becoming.